The wrath of Vayu, guardian of the winds, awakens. In the timeless expanse of the cosmos, where the stars whispered secrets to the void, and the earth trembled under the weight of divine destinies, there reigned Vayu, the god of winds. His form was as elusive as the breeze itself, now a gentle caress upon the leaves, now a howling tempest that uprooted ancient oaks. Born from the primordial breath of Vishvapurusha, the Supreme Being, Vayu was the life force incarnate, prana flowing through every vein of creation. His heart pulsed with the rhythm of the universe, a boundless energy that sustained gods and mortals alike. Yet beneath his ethereal grace lurked a fierce protectiveness, a storm waiting to unleash its fury upon those who dared harm what he held dear. Long ago, in the shadowed realms where celestial curses intertwined with mortal fates, lived Anjana, a radiant apsara of unparalleled beauty. Cursed by a sage's wrath for disturbing his meditations, she was condemned to wander the earth in the form of a Vanara, a monkey-like being. Her spirit, however, remained unbroken. With fervent devotion, Anjana prayed to Lord Shiva for a child who would embody strength and loyalty. Moved by her pleas, Shiva ordained that Vayu, the mighty wind god, would bless her with a son. Vayu, ever the wanderer of skies, felt a stirring in his immortal soul, a paternal longing that drew him to Anjana's side. One fateful dawn, as the sun painted the horizons in hues of gold and crimson, Vayu descended upon the forest where Anjana resided with her husband, Kesari, the valiant Vanara king. In a moment of divine union, Vayu infused his essence into the child she would bear. Joy swelled in Vayu's heart like a gathering gale. He envisioned a progeny who would soar the heavens, unbreakable and true. Months passed, and Anjana gave birth to a son under the canopy of swaying palms. The infant's cries echoed like thunder, his tiny fists clutching at the air as if commanding the winds themselves. They named him Hanuman, the one with a mighty jaw, though fate would soon test that very strength. Hanuman grew swiftly, his eyes sparkling with the curiosity of the wild. Vayu's blood coursed through him, granting him boundless energy and an unquenchable thirst for adventure. One morning, as the sun rose like a ripe mango dangling from the celestial tree, young Hanuman's hunger gnawed at his belly. Mistaking the fiery orb for a succulent fruit, he leapt skyward with a gleeful whoop. His small body propelled through the clouds, propelled by inherited gales, reaching heights no mortal could dream. The gods watched in awe and alarm as the child hurtled toward Surya, the sun god, whose chariot blazed across the firmament. Indra, king of the heavens, perched upon his thunderous throne in Swarga, felt a surge of panic. "This audacious monkey threatens the cosmic order," he thundered, his eyes flashing with imperial indignation. Gripping his Vajra, the indestructible thunderbolt forged from the bones of sages, he hurled it with unerring aim. The bolt struck Hanuman's jaw with a deafening crack, shattering bone, and sending the child plummeting earthward like a fallen star. Pain exploded through Hanuman's tiny frame, but even in his daze, a spark of defiance burned in his eyes. Far below, Vayu sensed the calamity instantly, a paternal bond severed by agony. His ethereal form coalesced into a whirlwind of rage as he rushed to cradle his fallen son.
Hanuman lay unconscious, his jaw disfigured, blood mingling with the dew-kissed grass. Vayu's heart shattered like fragile glass, sorrow crashed over him in waves, mingling with a boiling fury that darkened the skies. "My child," he whispered, his voice a mournful gust, "what cruelty has befallen you?" Tears, rare for a god, streamed down his face, evaporating into mist. In his grief, Vayu vowed vengeance, not through destruction, but through absence. With a heavy soul, Vayu withdrew his presence from the world. The winds ceased their eternal dance. The air grew stagnant, thick as molasses. Trees stood motionless, their leaves drooping in silent protest. Rivers slowed to a trickle, deprived of the breezes that carried moisture. Animals collapsed in heaps, birds tumbled from the skies mid-flight. Even the gods in their lofty abodes felt the suffocating grip. Indra's palace echoed with labored wheezes. Brahma's creation teetered on the brink of collapse. Panic spread like wildfire through the heavens, for without Vayu, life itself hung by a thread. Brahma, the four-faced creator, beheld the chaos with profound dismay. His brows furrowed in wisdom's shadow as he summoned the assembly of gods. "We have erred gravely," he intoned, his voice trembling with regret. "Indra's haste has wounded not just a child, but the very essence of existence." The deities, their faces pale with fear, journeyed to Vayu's hidden cave in the netherworld, where he guarded Hanuman's lifeless form. Indra, humbled, bowed low, his pride shattered like the Vajra's echo. "Forgive us, O Vayu," he pleaded, emotions choking his words, remorse etching lines upon his immortal visage. Vayu, his eyes stormy with unresolved anger, gazed upon them. Sorrow warred with fury in his breast. The sight of his son's pale face fueled his resolve, yet the pleas stirred a flicker of mercy. Brahma stepped forward, placing a gentle hand on Hanuman. Divine energy surged, mending the broken jaw and reviving the child's spirit. Hanuman stirred, his eyes fluttering open, a weak smile breaking through the pain. Joy erupted in Vayu's heart like a liberated zephyr. He embraced his son, relief washing away the tempest within. To appease Vayu further, the gods bestowed boons on Hanuman. Brahma granted immortality against death's grasp. Indra conferred indestructibility, save for his own Vajra. Surya promised knowledge of the scriptures. Varuna ensured protection from water's depths. Each gift amplified Hanuman's prowess, forging him into a legend. Vayu, his heart mended, released the winds once more. Breezes danced anew, filling lungs with sweet relief. Storms brewed in distant horizons, a reminder of his power. As the world breathed again, Vayu ascended the skies, Hanuman perched upon his shoulder. Pride swelled in the wind god's chest, a father's love eternal, unbreakable as the gales he commanded.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti